Hello everyone, Zach Mori, Blue Spartan 107 here. I decided to go ahead and do another Fallout New Vegas build video since the last one did get some attention and some people wanted to see if I would come out with more of these. And I decided that there was one more build I was considering to do, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this build now. It is known as the Anarchist, and there are two different variants of the Anarchist build, which the way that you can level them up will be shown at the end of the video, but just go ahead and enjoy what I have so far. There are, of course, like I said, two different variants of the Anarchist, and that is, of course, the Primal Anarchist and the Protogent Anarchist. The Primal Anarchist is pretty much, your gun for hire kind of standing, and the Protogent Anarchist is the one that likes to use weapons of the future, meaning energy weapons. So, the way you gotta set up the build, of course, is you gotta put strength at 5, perception at 4, endurance at 7, charisma at 9, intelligence at 9, agility at 8, and luck at 1. And I know the terrible luck is really not going to be good for you, but you can easily, of course, reprimand that by getting either implants or using the special, of course, the one perk that allows you to, the intense training perk. I don't know why I was forgetting that, sorry guys. But anyways though, pretty much the whole setup for the Anarchist, yeah, you got of course the special, I mentioned that. The primary skills that works on both sets of the build is of course speech, science, and explosives. Speech is meant to, of course, represent his charismatic nature, as even though he does instill anarchy, he likes to make sure that people will follow their own beliefs. He just doesn't like the authorities. Science, of course, is to represent a sort of hackerish nature, and explosives because, well, you want to get the job done, you got to get it done right. The Anarchist build is actually based off of a little character I created called the White Mask, and the point of the White Mask is he's supposed to be an anonymous ripoff, wearing... It's not a mask that's, the Guy Fawkes mask, it's just a regular white mask that you can easily buy from a paint shop or anything like that, an art store. And he likes to instill anarchy so that way people can get rid of the corruption in governments. However, he's kind of one-sided and doesn't understand that some methods must be done more peacefully than through anarchy. But he's just stuck in that mindset. He's also meant to be a kind of parkour master, like spray painting his messages across private and public properties, and might be a furry. That's just some of the things I've been coming up with. But anyways though, for the traits, going back to the actual build, the traits that you'll need are good-natured and skilled. Good-natured is going to make, of course, your speech, barter, science, all of your non-combative skills, up by 5. And skilled is going to bring every skill up by 5 to allocate against the negative effect of good-natured, but it will make you gain 10% less experience over time. This is actually a sort of a trait thing that Fudge Muppet always chose in their builds, because it's kind of their thing. They think it works the best, and it kind of does, actually. So I go along with that logic for this build. For minor skills, of course, it all depends on what version of the build you're going for. If you're going for the Protogent build, you definitely want energy weapons, but if you're going for the Primal build, you want to use guns. Repair is also always good, because you're going to need to repair weapons on the fly, and sneak, again, might be a very good factor because you may have to go against multiple enemies at once and would like to sneak around the battlefield. Especially if you're going to be using the Primal build and using the Gobi Campaign Scout Rifle, which is just a weapon that I chose. However, the build requires you to just use whatever weapon in that category. So pretty much there's a huge freedom of choice in this build. You can choose whatever weapons you wish to use, but you just have to make sure you're using them in the specific category that you choose. You can only choose one or the other. If you want to go for, using a weapon that doesn't fire anything, then you can go ahead and put some points into melee weapons, I would recommend. And I would recommend probably the police baton, as he does end up fighting against authorities a lot, and that would make perfect sense. There are a lot of special perks that you can choose for your build. However, the one that's automatically necessary is Fight the Power. This one makes it so that way you have 15% more damage against NCR, Brotherhood, and Legion. And I'm pretty sure it's 15%. If not, you're going to see the damage amount inside the video, or if you've already played the game enough to know what Fight the Power does, you'll know about that as well. I also recommend Sneering Imperialist only because he likes to modernize people, and he doesn't exactly like Travels or Raiders. So that gives you a damage boost against them too. Now, for like the whole backstory, at least in the way it would work for New Vegas, the Anarchist could pretty much be a guy that's lived on the Strip his whole life, say, I don't know, somewhere in Novak or whatever, or perhaps even lived in California, in New Reno, or some other place. Any place will do. Pretty much, he just lives there, he gets tired of the authorities, and decides to go ahead and become an anarchist. However, he needs money, and he needs secrecy, so he decides to take up a job as courier, in which case, you know, all the events that lead up to Fall of New Vegas have played out. Afterwards, though, he will go ahead and try to take over New Vegas, either for himself or to give to the people, which means that he's not going to like any authority figure whatsoever. So NCR has to be gone. Brotherhood, maybe they can be reasoned with, is at least my version of the character's perception of it. He might be able to reason with the Brotherhood and make them steadfast allies, but the Caesar's Legion and the NCR, they've got to go. And Mr. House has to go too, because Mr. House would try to control the Anarchist, and the Anarchist does not like it when people try to control him. So, you know, kill House, get rid of the NCR, get rid of the Legion, and either take over New Vegas for yourself with the Yes Man ending, or give it to the people for the wild card ending. Either choice will do, just, you know, choose whatever you wish. It all depends on how you would like to play the build. So, any tips that I would offer, of course, for gear, with the Protogent, you might want to actually wear armor. For the Primal, I would not recommend armor. If you do choose to wear armor, though, for both variants, wear light armor, as he prefers to be agile and, you know, wants to stay ahead of the competition. So, but if you're going to wear clothes for the Primal build, I was originally going to wear the Wasteland Wanderer outfit, as I thought that that would work pretty well for him, but I decided instead on the Wasteland Legend outfit, which is, of course, that one Merc outfit, except updated to be blue and have a little neck scarf thingy-majig. I thought it looked pretty cool on him, so that's why I used that in the video. Also, since the Anarchist is meant to, you know, spread anarchy, I would highly recommend wearing the hockey mask, as the, you know, look of the hockey mask does kind of instill the whole anarchy feel, especially with how all of the, you know, raiders end up going against, you know, the system, going against an actual regular justice system and economical society rules, that kind of thing. So he could be seen as a raider, however he despises raiders. So the mask is kind of a contradiction. He fights against the authorities, but he fights against the raiders as well. It's kind of a weird thing, but, you know, you guys can easily allocate that. If you want to wear another kind of mask, however, there are a few different variants I would recommend, including, of course, the masks that the White Glove Society wears. That I thought was a really good choice. I would have attempted to wear one, except I never got one, and instead I just decided to wear the hockey mask the whole time for both variants of build. But you could also, of course, wear, like, a whole suit as well. Probably not, like, the radiation suit, but if you have the Old World Blues DLC, there is a little suit that you can get that is like the radiation suit. That's actually supposed to be the suit of the Ghost People, if I'm more than correct, from the Dead Money DLC. And you can use that to put on the Anarchist. And he would still look like he's trying to bring a reign of anarchy, which would be pretty cool, in a sense. Plus, you'd be protected from radiation and such. So, that's a win-win. But, anyways, though, the points that I allocated into the build mainly focus on increasing, of course, some explosive qualities, but I also focused on the guns and VATS variants. When I say guns, I also mean energy weapons for the Protogent build, as you will see. So, I think I'm going to stop recording my voice here. I'm going to show you how to build those things, how to build both sides of the build, and I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, and dislike if you don't feel like it. I will be posting plenty of Fallout content, as well as plenty of other games, since I like to try and be random. So, thank you all so much for watching this part. be sure to, of course, watch out for... be sure to, of course, actually just go ahead and watch the next two parts, which is the two different variants of the Anarchist build.